content management system. If you just shuddered a bit, we've got something in common. There's too many choices. There's not enough plugins. The community sucks. It's too bloated. It's too thin. Aside from language of choice, there's no more polarizing topic in the tech industry. I hate CMSs. Hated. So let's talk about why that changed. We've all been there. A friend, family member, ex-coworker, somebody needs a website and you're the programmer. For me, it was my dad. His site needed a bit of a refresh. I did what we all do in that situation. I decided to find the path that requires the least amount of work. And that's when I found BigTree. Built by an agency in Baltimore, it's open source and backed by PHP and MySQL. What makes it likable? Clean, organized, simple terminology, end-user focused, performant. And it doesn't obliterate PHP in the process by forcing you to use wrapped functions all the time. Installation is what you'd expect. Drop a bunch of files onto the server, run the installer, and fill out a few form fields with credentials and config options. On the code side, BigTree makes a concerted effort to let you build websites as you normally would with vanilla PHP and HTML. There's no long list of CMS-specific functions that do the exact same thing PHP does out of the box, and there's no forced templating system. That's a big difference from some of the more popular alternatives. BigTree feels like you're just using a boilerplate utility library to wrap your MVC and database calls. Great for a purist like myself. File organization and naming makes sense, and the partitioning of template pieces follows logic. Porting an existing site into BigTree shouldn't take too long. Once I had the design finalized, it took just a few days to get it up and running. After some minor tweaks, total time from start to launch was about a week. The documentation for BigTree is pretty darn good. The developer guide answered every question I had at a higher level, and the code reference filled in the cracks. Like any CMS, it's going to take some time to wrap your head around. I struggled a bit understanding when to use templates, modules, and callouts, but once it clicked, I was good to go. While the end user might encounter a bit of that confusion, most of it comes on the developer side. Pages are pages, and modules are self-contained MVC partials that you can throw into pages and are reusable. Callouts can also be added to pages, but they're more for static elements. The typical task of adding pages, editing content, managing users, and the like is a breeze. The UI is simple, and it's easy to navigate the administration panel. Versioning and draft support are included, and the user permissions are robust, offering page-level and module-level restrictions with editor and publisher role assignments. There's enough features built in that it should satisfy the needs for your standard website. Analytics, social, CDN, payment gateways, and email come installed with support for multiple services on each. With a community size that barely registers and a whopping 10 coders, don't expect to see even a fraction of the plugins you'll get elsewhere. If you're working at an agency, you'll find BigTree to be a good fit. Expect to spend some time, though, building out small plugins to support your more commonly needed features. Personal websites for the layman, that's unrealistic. I found it to perform more efficiently than WordPress and be less confusing for both the developer and the end user than Drupal. I'd say it's similar to a lot of the newer content management systems popping up, like Grav or Perch, that focus on doing a few things really well, but it's at the front of that pack. Overall, I'm a big fan. I haven't had to touch my dad's website since we launched it, and he's called me surprisingly few times to ask questions. Very surprisingly.